Good morning, everybody. Starting another week of learning Torah. Of course, an amazing special week because of Shavuot coming up this Motzei Shabbat. And so what a fantastic time to be working on ourselves. Last countdown we're in the last sprint to the finish. Sprint to the finish of working on ourselves. And there could be nothing as fundamental as this particular topic, which we're talking about now. And actually in the chapter after the one that we're going to finish today, Bezrat Hashem, he talks about just how fundamental this issue is. A lot of people have this idea that, being able to fulfill the mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael, to be able to love another person properly, that somehow that's one mitzvah among 613. Okay, I mean, I'm not so good at that one, but I got some mitzvah points from the other ones. It's not true. There's something so fundamental about this particular mitzvah that it clouds, pollutes, and distorts everything else in a person's personality, person's frumkeit, person's religiosity. So we'll do a very quick from the beginning of the chapter, chapter 15. So the truth of the matter is, even though jealousy is a terrible thing, it rots your guts literally, rots your soul. But there is a kind of jealousy which is good. We talked about that our sages say that when sages have jealousy, it increases wisdom. And also the Midrash talks about that the relationship between Rachel and Leah, which the Torah describes as jealousy, that it's not what you think. That that it was a jealousy over good deeds. Okay, so what's that all about? It's when a person says, man, I wish I was as righteous as Elisheva. I wish, right? Or wish I could daven like Zev. I wish I could be as handsome as Larry. Well, I'm not sure that's an attribute that you're born with that. So we're jealous of a person who has those good traits. That's actually good. Why? Because inspiration. You want to be like them. Until you actually can achieve that kind of level. It motivates you. So I just want to point out, so by the way, in case you're lost, we're in chapter 15, that the amazing thing about this, you can always tell. If you want to ask yourself, wait, am I jealous where it's coming from a good place or a bad place? There's a simple way of monitoring. Is this jealousy making me be hostile to that person or not? So let's say I want to be, as whatever, let's say daven like Zev. So if I'm feeling, and therefore that low life, sits over there davening, everybody else is done, and he's still going 2 hours later, walking at lunch, he's still here. There's actually stories of people that, they weren't sure exactly what prayer you're supposed to say. So they just picked up a Siddur and they just start from page 1 and go to page 300. That way the figure they'll cover all bases. They're saying Yom Kippur davening, everything, So good morning. So so if I deprecate that person, I knock him down and insult the person, belittle them, so that's an indication that kina is flowing from a bad place. But if it's jealousy in the sense of kinat sofrim, that man, I wish I could daven with that same sincerity, that same broken heart. So that and I don't feel any hostility. That's a holy kina, a holy jealousy. Okay, so it's pretty easy to tell the difference. You just is it generating a negative feeling, right, or not? So that's pretty easy. Okay, now here's the new material. That was a quick review. So now he brings in a Kabbalistic idea here, where in Kabbalah it talks about two types of light. There's Or Choser and Or Yashar. Okay, Or Choser, I think the best way to translate that is reflected light or returned light. Okay, or Yashar, which means straight light. Okay, so what is it? Kabbalah always talks about using different terms. Ratzo v'shov. There's a kind of dynamic of, maybe a good term would be ebb and flow. Those are words, right? Ebb and flow. So flow is like the tide comes in, and ebb, it goes back. So that's the same way the divine light. The divine light comes into the world. That's like the flow. The tide's coming in. So that's the divine light, the divine creative light, which comes into the world. And then it goes back. Now, what does it mean go back? We return it. How? We return it by doing mitzvot, right? Every time we do a mitzvah, we're taking that divine light, which is hidden in the world, and we reveal it. It's like returning the light. But what's interesting is that it's an upgrade of the light, which is a kind of an irony. How is an upgrade of the light? Because when the light flows down in the world, right, it has to flow down in the world. The world can't really contain the light. It's hidden, right? The divine light, right? Because after all, right, if the divine light was revealed, there'd be no separate existence. So it's hidden. The amazing thing is that when we do a mitzvah, we reveal the divine light. But we reveal the divine light in the context of the material world. And as Chassidus explains over and over again, that the power of a ray of light in the context of darkness is incomparable, right? If I had to light a match right now in this room, so what? You turn off the light and you light the match. What beauty, what radiance, what glory. And that's the whole point of everything. Every single time that we do a mitzvah, that we're lighting that candle, that match in the context of utter darkness. We're gonna be like making this like dark cave, pitch black, and you light this candle. Wow. So that's the Or Choser, right? So it ironically is kind of an upgrade of the light in the sense of the radiant beauty. And that's what Hashem wanted. Hashem wants us to cause his light to shine in a way which is even more intense and beautiful. That's why Hashem is not impressed by angels. With all due respect to you angels out there, right? Don't be offended, right? But he's not impressed, right? He gets no pleasure out of the angels because they're up there in the higher spheres. There's all kinds of light up there because it's not very material up there. They don't eat and drink or anything like that. It's like, right? So they're sitting there saying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. God says, wake me up when it's over, boring, you know, right? Right? And we now in a few minutes we're going to say kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. God says, thank you. I needed that. He actually doesn't need it, but he wants it, right? Kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. When we say it, kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. That's an amazing thing, you know, because we say that we're going to sanctify God in the world just like sanctify him above. In a certain sense, I always feel like, okay, we're second-class citizens. We'll like imitate the way the angels are doing above. Okay, so we can't really do it like they do it. Opposite, right? When we say kadosh, 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 holy, 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 man, the angels just say, okay, I'll get another job. Okay, we're superfluous. That's the power that we have and that's called the Or Choser, the reflected light. Okay, you could even, in a certain sense, think of it as a relationship between the sun and the moon. So the sun has its own internal light, right? The light, oh my gosh, Blessed be he who resurrects the dead. So happy to see you. So the sun has its own light, okay? But the moon, so it's reflected light. You know that we are always compared to the moon? You know that we're moon people?
Yeah.
Israel is moon people,
Yeah.
right? And why? Because we take the divine light and we reflect it back. It's called Or Choser, the reflected light, returned light. Now, what's amazing? When does the moon shine?
When it's full.
It's dark.
When it's dark.
When it's dark. Yeah. Okay.
That is the beauty. And the truth of the matter is, let's face it, with all due respect to the sun, like what is more incredibly dramatic, beautiful? Like, again, with all due respect to the sun, you walk outside, it's a sunny day, gewaldig nice, you know, I don't know. You go out and there's like a full moon, it'd blow your mind. Like, it's like nothing like that. That's the power of the reflected light. We're moon people, right? We're reflecting that light back. Okay? Moonies. Bad image. That's what it is when we have jealousy, which is flowing from a good place, jealousy of someone else's good attributes. It's we are reflecting the light back to God in such a holy way. וכל זה הוא כשחייבץ את הטוב, אבל כאשר באמת אינו חפץ להיות במעלת הפרישות והטהרה וכדומה, רק שמקנא בחברו, למה הוא עומד במעלה במדרגה זו, מחמד זה הוא שונא אותו, זה דבר קשה וגרוע מאוד מאוד. But unfortunately, if we're jealous of somebody and we actually feel hostility towards that person, this is certainly expression that this is a jealousy, which is not from a good place. This is the jealousy which is flowing from, it's flowing from our sense of, I am something. Now, what's amazing about this is, imagine for a second, this is going back to our metaphor of the sun and the moon. What does the moon know about its light? It knows that it didn't come from itself. But what does the sun think? I'm it. Right? So there are sun people out there. They're the people who are burning with destructive flame. They burn everything in their way and they're burning up themselves. Right? And the moon people were humble. Right? We realize that light doesn't come from ourselves, that we're reflecting. And so to use that metaphor again, okay, now he's going to say something really heavy now. And the truth of the matter is, I don't know if this applies to anybody in this room or in the world, but this is big time rabbis. Or, I mean, I don't know if the shoe fits wear it. Okay, but I haven't said yet what it is. You ready for this? I should not be so candid. He said, you find this when it comes to, because remember, I don't know if you remember, but a few chapters ago, he talked about that people who are religious people have a particular challenge in dealing with the issue of,
I'm so human, you're not.
yeah, of hating other people, the ego, right? Of feeling yesh, they're being something. So one of the expressions of that is amazing thing. He says that you'll sometimes see people who are, religious people, and they gravitate towards, they'll hate other people who are religious or who are on their level, okay? But they'll be very warm and friendly to people who are very simple. And they'll think, you know why I help out the people, the simple people, right? Because I'm so humble and helpful and giving person. It's not for that reason.
It's an ego thing.
It's their own ego and their own sense of yeshut. Why? Because I think, hypothetically, because I am so full of myself. Okay, I never put it that way. I'm so religious. anybody who's actually on my level. That's why a lot of times rabbis don't get along with each other. How come rabbis don't get along with each other? How could that be? It's because the rabbi over there, wherever it is, Baruch Hashem, in this case, Rab Mendy and I were brothers. It's an amazing thing. I don't know. It's Baruch Hashem. It's a miracle. Baruch Hashem. But it often doesn't happen that way. Why? See, because that person, they're a threat to me. And I to him. Right? Because I'm a yesh. I'm a something. And therefore, and he's a something. I kind of have to admit it because he's also a Torah scholar. Right? Right? So therefore, anything that he gets takes away from me. Right? He's breathing my air. Right? But you know what? But a person who doesn't threaten me, then my somethingness can spread out because they're really skinny, metaphorically, right? Because they're nothing anyway. But then I can be so loving and rabbinic and giving and righteous. Oh, Rabbi, you're such a great man.
Yeah, right.
Someone told me that recently. I actually wanted to kill that person afterwards. Do not tell me I'm a great man. I'm not a great man. Oh, that's a proof you are a great man, Rabbi. You're an even greater man now. Like my favorite joke, right? So, so that's why you'll see like a person within their congregation can be, this wonderful tzaddik. We can't get along with the rabbi down the street. Isn't this amazing insight? Now, to the thing, I don't know if it applies to, each in our own way. Sometimes, like, to get along with another Orthodox Jew could be a problem, right?
Sure.
But like, okay, but they're my Reform friend down the street. That's no problem because I'm the Orthodox Jew and I can be magnanimous and giving and knowledgeable and whatever. But the other Orthodox, same dynamic. What an unbelievable thing! It's like, okay, you should all commit suicide after class. How about during class? God forbid. Okay, aval anashim pshutim she'enom odin be'ez madrega ye'ohov otam. But simple people, they don't threaten my somethingness, right? So ye'ohov otam, then I can love, be great. Mitzad shesrichim lo'ohov Yisrael, and I think I'm fulfilling the mitzvah of avat Yisrael. ומישהו גס ויש יותר יכול להיות שאהבתו והתקרבות עליהם הוא מצד ששם מתפשט ישותו כי מכבדים אותו בעיניו מקבלים מקרים מצוואר. Furthermore, look at the ego gratification I get as the Orthodox Jew or as the rabbi, whatever it may be, right? Because wow, they can all like, yes, oh great rabbi, oh great religious person, whatever it may be, right? So look how where we're flowing from is coming from our somethingness or nothingness, what a difference it makes, how it expresses itself in everything we do. And the things that we think are mitzvahs, we think that it's actually righteous and noble, flowing from a very bad place in our personality.
Jealousy in a way? Jealousy.
Keep going, I'm sorry.
Well, it just seems like jealousy. I mean, you don't have anything there's no threat from somebody who's less knowledgeable.
Exactly. Then I don't feel jealous. But if it's the person down the street who actually is a little hard to say they're nothing, then there's something then I am jealous. And then, but from a bad place, and then their hostility. Now we got a lot to work on, don't we?
We do.
Okay. On that very positive note, have a great day.
Yeah, have a wonderful day.
Okay. Bye, everybody. We meet tomorrow again. And don't forget, next week, so obviously we're not meeting on Sunday, Monday. Sunday, Monday, but we will meet Tuesday. But then the following week, we're going to be able to meet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.